How would Demetrious Johnson do versus the current top 5 flyweights? Let's get it. Starting with Tattoo Tyra, this is actually one of the tougher fights in the division, I believe, for DJ, just because of how well-rounded Tyra is. However, I do think that DJ would absolutely outstrike Tyra on the feet, because yes, he does have some good power. He's pretty explosive. DJ does have to be careful. However, I don't think that Tyra's got the striking technique down really yet, in comparison to someone like Demetrious Johnson. So I would think that he's going to keep the fight standing, because Tyra is a really good grappler, and he probably doesn't really want to go to the ground game where Tyra's at his strongest. However, DJ did have a knack for beating people where they were at their best. So I could see DJ potentially mixing it up, but I think he wins a decision. Next up, we got Amir Albazi. Yeah, I think that this is probably the easiest fight inside the top 5 for DJ. Amir Albazi is a well-rounded fighter. He's kind of a jack of all trades, but doesn't do anything at a particularly high level. Yeah, I think DJ has a field day with him, to be honest. Brandon Royval, again, this is one of those fights where it's like, yeah, Brandon Royval kind of has like a point fighting volume style on the feet, but it's not going to affect DJ too much. I think that Brandon Royval's lack of takedown defense is really going to do him a disservice in this fight. I see DJ taking him down, either submitting him or winning by way of decision. Brandon Moreno is a really tough one, to be honest, because like he's got the advantage on the feet, right? Especially when it comes to the boxing. But I would also say that DJ is probably a better kicker than Brandon Moreno is, and I do think that DJ could potentially take the fight down to the ground because Moreno has okay takedown defense, but he hasn't really been tested against a whole lot of different wrestlers, I would say. So yes, Brandon Moreno's extremely scrambling on the ground, but DJ's a very high level grappler in his own right. I think he would take down Brandon Moreno and probably control him, but if it stays on the feet, it's very dicey. Next up, we have Joshua Van, and I do think that DJ beats Joshua Van mostly due to the grappling difference. Like, yes, you could say, well, because we don't know where Joshua Van's takedown defense is at, therefore you can't really say that. However, I'd argue that Joshua Van just hasn't really faced any wrestler on the level of Pantoja or a DJ. So I do think that DJ would take him down, use his experience, use his grappling expertise, probably control Joshua Van on the ground, and probably get a submission. Last up, the one that everyone's been waiting for, the Alexander Pantoja fight. Guys, I gotta be honest, I think that DJ absolutely schools Alexander Pantoja. I think he's faster. I think he's a much better striker. Pantoja's bum rushing style, I don't think it's gonna really work against someone like DJ. Pantoja generally does not have the best pacing, and if DJ does get taken down, I do believe he's a good enough grappler to scramble back up to the feet and probably outpoint Pantoja. I think he'd probably beat him by way of decision. I don't see him knocking him out. DJ doesn't have that kind of power, and Pantoja is an extremely good grappler, but I don't think he would submit DJ. So give me DJ by way of decision.